الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Inshallah, this is a continuation of the series we started about the diseases of the heart. And in this part we will talk inshallah about one of the major diseases of the heart, which is the lack of sincerity, عدم الإخلاص. But first we need to define what sincerity is so we can understand each other. Sincerity is to seek the pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jal through our speech, our actions. That is sincerity. That whatever we say, whatever we do, our main goal is to please Allah Azza wa Jal. Actions in general, in order for them to be accepted by Allah Azza wa Jal, they have to satisfy two conditions, two criteria. The first one is that the action should be pure in terms of intention, and that is related to the purity of the heart. And the second condition is that the action itself should be in accordance with the teachings of the Quran and of the teachings of the Prophet Mohamed sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and that is the purity of action. So purity of intention, purity of action will enable the action itself to be accepted by Allah Azza wa Jal. But in this talk we'll address the first part, which is the purity of the heart, which is the purity of intention. This matter is extremely important, because if our actions will not be accepted unless there is a purity of the heart, there is a purity of intention, then we should take the matter very, very seriously. Allah Azza wa Jalla says in the Quran, قُلْ إِنَّ صَلَاتِي وَنُسُكِي وَمَحْيَايَ وَمَمَاتِي لِلَّهِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. That say, truly, my prayer, my salat, my prayer, my nusuk, my service of sacrifice, hayati, my life, mamati, my death, are for Allah Azza wa Jal, the cherisher of the world, the Lord of the world. And Allah Azza wa Jal made it clear in the Quran, Allali الدين الخالص, that Allah Azza wa Jal accepts only the deen, the actions that are pure. And the Prophet ﷺ also made it very clear. He said about Allah Azza wa Jal, إِنَّ اللَّهَ طَيِّبٌ لَا يَقْبَلُ إِلَّا طَيِّبًا, that Allah Azza wa Jal is pure and accepts only what is pure. Unfortunately, because of the nature of this world, the nature of dunya, we forget about these concepts. And we need each other to remind one another about this issue, that we need to renew our intention. Yes, we know. Those are listening to me, those are watching me, yes, we know that we seek the pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jalla in everything we do, but we forget. That's why sometimes, fortunately, we show off, we brag about what we do, we expect people to praise us for things that we are doing, and we forget that we are connected with Allah Azza wa Jal, and it is the pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jal that we are seeking. This lack of sincerity, this lack of connection with Allah Azza wa Jal hurts the heart. In fact, it can reach a level where it kills the heart. If instead of worshipping the Creator, Allah Azza wa Jal, we start worshipping the created. Instead of pleasing Allah Azza wa Jal, the Master, we start thinking solely about pleasing the created people. So this is a reminder to check our heart when it comes to sincerity. And this is not an easy task, because it's not something that is seasonal, something that, okay, I'm gonna fix it and that's it, it's gonna take me 3 days, 4 days and I'm gonna fix it. No, it's a long process. In fact, it is depending on how long we're gonna live on earth. This process will start when we make the tawbah, when we acknowledge that we did not do a good job when it comes to cleaning and clearing our intentions. And then it's gonna go till the day we depart from this world. As I said, it's difficult, it's long, and there are a lot of distractions in the way, but that's the way to go. That's the way to go if we would like to attain the pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jal. You may say, how can I feel this? I mean, this sincerity. I mean, is it something that I can touch? Something I can experiment? Something I can feel? I want this feeling in my heart. This way, I can judge my actions. I can judge my intentions in the future. Easy. I'll give you a way to check it. In fact, we are doing it right now in the month of Ramadan. So please pay attention to what I'm going to say, because that's going to clarify this topic of sincerity. You know, in Ramadan, we have to fast, as you know. For those who are Muslims and reach puberty, and there is no thing that will stop you from fasting, then when you observe fasting, you're not gonna eat, meaning you're not gonna drink, and you're gonna abstain from anything that will nullify your fasting. Okay. So while you are fasting during the day, food is in front of you, water is in front of you, and sometimes there are some days where we feel more thirsty than other days, more hungry than other days. But still, we do not approach food. We do not approach drink. We try our best to restrain our tongues and our gaze. Why? Because we are fasting. Even if you are by yourself in your house, no one is there. Your parents are not there. Your children are not there. No one is there except you. And you're hungry, you're thirsty, you are not gonna drink nor eat. Why? Because you are sincere. Because you are sincere about fasting. Because you know that Allah is watching you. Even if you are super hungry, super thirsty, even a sip of water, you will not take it. Why? Because you know Allah is watching you. You are super sincere about this particular ibadah, which is fasting. That's why Allah Azza wa Jal, in the hadith, that Rasul said, that Allah said that let me say it in Arabic and I will give you a rough translation. Allah Azza wa says in that hadith, He says that كل عمل ابن آدم له إلا الصوم وأنا أجزي به. That every action of son of Adam is for him, except fasting. It is for me, and I will reward him accordingly. Meaning that there are many actions where we know that if you do this, you get this amount of hasanat multiplied by 10, up to 700, up to many folds. But when it comes to fasting, and there are other, by the way, there are other ibadat too, that where we don't know what kind of reward Allah Azza wa Jal is hiding for those who are practicing this ibadah. Sawm is one of them, and sabr is one of them. Like Allah says, إِنَّمَا يُوَفَّى الصَّابِرُونَ أَجْرَهُمْ بِغَيْرِ حِسَابٍ, that those who are patient for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal, Allah Azza will reward them بغير حساب, without accountability. But let's go back to Sawm, because Sawm we can understand it easily than patience itself. So Allah Azza wa Jal, He knows that when a person is fasting, then he's doing it for Allah Azza wa Jal. That this person is doing it sincerely, 100% sincerely for Allah Azza wa Jal. He had the opportunity to drink, he had the opportunity to eat, but he didn't do it. Why? Because his intention in the heart and in the mind, it is for Allah Azza wa Jal. So that state of purity of the heart, that state of purity of the mind, this is something we can touch, something we can feel. And every one of us did go through this. So this is the state we would like to reach when it comes to purity of the intention in general, whether it's Ramadan or other months other than Ramadan. Is that whenever we want to do something, we need to think, what I'm gonna do right now, is it pleasing to Allah or not? If it's pleasing to Allah, I will do it. If it's not pleasing to Allah, I will not do it. Exactly like approaching water or food while you are fasting. You know it will be displeasing to Allah, so you're not gonna do it. The same way, whatever we're gonna say in the future, is it pleasing to Allah? Yes, I will say it. Not pleasing to Allah, I'm not gonna say it. You may say, but isn't it like a process that is tedious and it takes time? No, it will be automatic when we practice. When we practice, Allah Azza wa Jal will help us to achieve higher level of purity of the heart, purity of the intention. وَالَّذِينَ جَاهَدُوا فِينَا لَنَهْدِيَنَّهُمْ سُبُلَنَا. That those who struggle in the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal, those who do their best in the way of Allah Azza wa Jal, Allah Azza wa Jal will guide them, will make it easy for them. So we have to show Allah Azza wa Jal sincerity and commitment to improve ourselves, to improve our hearts, to improve our intentions. So this is the cure. Think about Allah is watching me. Allah is observing my actions. Then our intention will change. It is Allah that I would like to please. If people are pleased with it, great. If they are not pleased with it, then it suffices me that Allah is pleased with it. But believe me, if you're doing something that pleases Allah Azza wa Jal, know for sure that the believers will also be happy and satisfied about your action. Because if we don't practice sincerity, our heart will be disconnected from Allah Azza wa Jal. We'll be just connected to people. We're gonna try to show off, to boast about our actions. And believe it or not, people some days they are pleased with us, and some days they are not pleased with us. Sometimes they will let us down, they will disappoint us. But know for sure that Allah Azza wa Jal will never disappoint you if you do the action just for His sake. I ask Allah Azza wa Jal to help us to get rid of this disease, which is lack of sincerity, and to help us till the day we depart from this world by being constantly sincere for His sake. Again, thank you very much. Jazakumullah khairan for your good listening. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.